Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. My name is Eric Juma Abwile, and I'm here to address some of the concerns that you've had in the previous modules, particularly on module 2 of this course, on the creation of the schema and data processing. First, I want to apologize for the confusion that was there. Because the online session, we did it in ArcGIS Online, and then the materials were developed in ArcGIS Pro. So today I want to take you through the procedure of creating a schema in ArcGIS Pro and uploading the data or publishing the data in ArcGIS Online. However, there is no need of uploading or publishing the data in the ArcGIS Online, because when you create a schema, you can create it in both platforms, in either of the platforms. If you don't have ArcGIS desktop, which in this case it is ArcGIS Pro, then you can use ArcGIS Online. And when you're using ArcGIS Online, you can go and do all the process in ArcGIS Online. First, you create a schema. Second, you add features to your schema. And then you complete the fields the way we learned in our class, and then you can submit it. So it depends with the way you collaborate with the partners. For example, for us, we work with our partners at UNEP, World Conservation and Monitoring Center. But most of the times we use desktop application. We use ArcGIS Pro. So we download a schema, or we can create our own schema the way I showed you. From Protected Planet. Then we come and append our data to the schema, and then we send it to UNEP WCMC to finish the process. Because ultimately it's actually UNEP WCMC who are able to publish the updated data. So today I'm here to show you how you can still create a schema in ArcGIS Pro and publish it in ArcGIS Online. And for that reason, first, I will take you again through the process of downloading data for your country. Then we will come and remove all the features from it. Then we will publish it. So allow me to open ArcGIS Pro on my computer. To open ArcGIS Pro, first you go to the Start menu, then just type ArcGIS Pro, and there you can see it has displayed. You click on it. Usually it takes a few seconds to minutes to open, so you need to have some patience as you wait for it to open. I know that some of you have already tried this in your assignment. That is good of you. But for those who didn't manage to do it, please, you can follow through this session. So you can see it has opened, and ArcGIS Pro is a project-based application, which means you work on a project at a time. So for example, when you open it the very first time, it will ask you to create a project. This session was introduced by my colleague Julius, but I know there is no harm to go through it again. So first, in this interface on your left, you can see you have the home. If you want to learn more about ArcGIS Pro, you have the learning resources on the left. And then you have the settings on the left as well. Then up here, you can see under the new project, we have a map, we have a catalog, we have a global scene, we have a local scene. Map, we all know the map is a window that will open where you can work with your data. Catalog helps us in data management within ArcGIS environment. Global scene is a window that works with 3D data globally. And then we have the local scene, which is 3D data at a local scene. You can also be able to open it, to open ArcGIS Pro without creating a project. So when you click on Start Without a Template, it will just open, and then it will allow you to now create a template after it has opened. For the recent projects, we only open what we have worked on before. So you can see for me, I have a number of them. For you, you might have some or even none. There is no issue if you don't have anything. And again, we have the learning resources. You can click here to learn more. So something maybe I should have mentioned, when you open ArcGIS Pro, it will ask you to log into your ArcGIS Online account. Please log in to your ArcGIS Online, to ArcGIS Pro using your ArcGIS Online credentials. For me, you can see it is showing me here that I am logged in via Regional Center for Mapping of Resources for Development. So I want to change this so that we are all on the same page. So I want to sign out. I will sign out, and then I will sign in again. Let me see if I kept my credentials. Let me pick my credentials from somewhere here. It has changed. Yes, you can see now it has changed my username up here. It has also changed the organization. So once you log in, you can now go and click on map to create a project. Let us call it WDPA update. WDPA. And normally when you are creating the project, you don't use space or special characters because they are not allowed within the name of the project. So I'll call it WDPA update. And then I'm going to select the folder, my working folder. I'll click on browse. And then navigate to where I created my folder. It is somewhere in my PC, somewhere in local disk D. Then I will sort my folder so that I get my recent folder as the first. Then I'll save it there. I'll use that folder as the default folder. Then I'll click on OK. And then I'll check this option, create a folder for this local project. What happens is that within the folder that I have selected under location, another folder called the WDPA update will be created, and that is where the project files will be placed. So once you check this option, you can click on OK to create a project. So by default, your project will be created, and it will come with a default base map called topographic base map. And you can change your base map whenever you want. I know that you have been taught before on how to change a base map, so I'll not take you through that class. But for today, I want us to go and get our data from Protected Planet and then use it to create a schema. So you can switch back to your browser, then search for Protected Planet. Planet.net. It will open the Protected Planet. You click on Explore Protected Areas and OECMs, and then you can go and click on the countries and search for your country. So I expect you to download data for your country. For me, I'm downloading for Kenya. Then I'll press on enter so that it is filtered. Then you can click on your country, Kenya, and then click on download button on the top right corner. For this purpose, or for this class, we want to download a spatial data. So PDF format does not work in this case. We can work with either a shapefile, which is abbreviated as a SHP, or a file geodatabase. So for this class, let us use the file geodatabase. Click on file geodatabase. And then, as I told you before, UNEP WCMC and the Protected Planet Initiative does not allow downloading data for commercial purposes. So click on continue under non-commercial use, and then click on the download button below there. So once you click on the download button, you give it a few seconds, it will be downloaded. For me, mine has already been downloaded. You click on the folder icon to open where it is. And as I told you, when you download, the data will come as a zipped folder. So you need to unzip it to be able to access the contents of the folder. So I'll right click on it and click on extract to that folder. I think it has already extracted. I will just sort per date so that I see my folder. So my folder is here. It's called WDPA, WECM, the September version 2025 Public Kenya. And you can see when you open it, it has some files. It has what we call WDPA manual in English, WDPA manual in Espanol, WDPA manual in French. So you can either download the Spanish version of the manual or an English version or a French version, or even other versions like the Arabic version. So we shall be using this file here called WDPA WDOECM September 2025 public ken.gdb. That is our file geodatabase. Other files that you can see here are just the manuals in different languages. And when you open one, you can see there are some files there in PDF that you can go through. We have a summary of the table. We have the manual and we also have metadata for this data that we have downloaded. So we shall not be going to details of these. Switch back to your software. Mine is here. And then I want us to add the data from the file geodatabase. And for you to be able to add the data, you have to go to the map tab, which is up here. Click on the map tab, and then go to the add data under the layers ribbon. Click on the arrow below the add data, or you can just click on add data button icon. It will still work. Sorry for this. This is, don't worry about that. So click on add data, then you can navigate to where you downloaded your data. For my case, I downloaded it in my document, in my downloads. So I'll go to the downloads folder, and then I can sort it as per I'll sort it as per the date. So you can see my file is here, WDPA, WDOECM, September 2025, public Kenya. I'll double click to open, then within you can see now what was looking like a folder is now looking like a geodatabase. Others remain as folders. So under the geodatabase, you double click to open, and you will see all the files that are within the geodatabase. You can see the first file is a point layer. We have a polygon layer, then we have a source table. So we shall be adding two, the point layer and the polygon layer. So click on the first one, then hold shift, and then click on the second one, so that you select points and polygon layers. Once you select them, click on OK. Give them a few seconds to add to your map. And you can see in my computer, I have both. I have both point and the polygon features within the map. And they have valid in Kenya. So what we'll do is that we will start with the polygon layer. We shall create a polygon schema and then a point schema. So for the polygon layer schema, what we shall do is that we will first open the attribute table to just review what is within the table. And as you can see, the polygon layer has 408 features. An easy way to check the features, just check down here. 0 of 408 selected, which means you have 408 features. But we are not interested in any of these. We are only interested in the schema. And the schema is just a template that you can use to format your data. So what shall we? We need to select all the features and delete. And to select all the features, you can do it manually. There are many ways of selection. You can come and click the first feature, hold shift, and click the last feature, the 408th feature. It will select. Or what you can do, you can still go and select one by one. Hold the shift, select one by one. It will still work. But what I want to show you is that an easier way of selecting all the features is to switch the selection. For example, at the moment, 0 of 408 features are selected. If you switch the selection, 408 features will be selected. So to do that, you just click on this button here, switch, and it will select everything in your table. So once you select everything, what we need to do is that we need to delete the features. How do you do it? We have many ways. You can just come and click on this button here. There's a delete button here in the table window. Or we can go to the edit tab up there, and then you can click on delete again. Under the edit tab, there is this delete button here that you can still use to delete all the selected features. So whichever option you want to use will still work. So from here, you can use any. Click on this delete button, and then it will confirm whether you want to delete. When you click on yes, it will just delete everything that you have selected. So you can see you have deleted everything. We can save the changes to save the schema. So if you want to save the changes, you just come and click on save, and the schema will be saved. Then you click on save, then you click on yes to save the edits. You can do the same for even for the point features as well. You can just come there, right click on it, open the attribute table, switch the selection to select everything, and then click on delete. This time around, we can use these other deletes, and then click on yes to delete everything in our point layer. So once you have deleted everything, what you need to do is that we can go and resave our layer. First, click on save to save the edits. Click on save, then click on yes to save the edits. But we need to go and change the name of this layer from where it is saved, from our source folder. So to be able to change the name of this layer, what we need to do is that we can open what we call ArcCatalog. As I told you earlier, ArcCatalog is used for data management. So just come here and click on View. Then click on, we can open it as a pen. A pen is docked within the main window. So click on Catalog Pen, and then you can see it is docked there. So once you click on the pen, you can come and link the folder. Link the folder that contains our schema to the catalog. For now, you can see when you click on this arrow here, it only shows the project folder that we created. But it is not showing the schema where it is. Alternatively, you can go and move the schema to your project folder. But because we have not used the project folder, what we shall do, you can right-click on the folders and then click on Add Folder Connection. Once you add the folder connection, you can now navigate to the downloads. Open the downloads. then search for your folder. In my case, my folder is here. It's called WDPA WECM September 2025 public CAN. You need to select it, then just click on OK. And that folder will be added under the folders that are connected to the catalog. So you can click on the arrow beside it to open up the contents of the folder. And as I told you, you will be able to see everything that you saw in this folder before. So what we need to do is that we want to change the names of the layers in our geodatabase. And our geodatabase is this layer here. So just click on the arrow beside it to open up the geodatabase. And we can rename this to WDPA WDOECM point schema and WDPA WDOECM polygon schema. So what we're only changing is that we are removing the SEPT 2025 CAN to schema. So to do that, you click on the first one, right click on it, and then click on rename. Click on rename, then remove everything and just type schema. Type schema, press enter. You can see our point layer is renamed. For the polygon, do the same, right click and click on rename. And just call it poly schema. Poly schema. And press enter. And of course, now we have the source table, which contains the information of the data providers, which we are not going to change. So for the two layers, we have created a schema. If you want to remove and replace the data that we have loaded here, you can just select all of them and then drag them to the map. The two schemas will be added, and then we can do away with the original layers. Sorry, just select the original layers. You can hold Control to select both, and just right click, and then click on remove to remove them. So up to there, we have created our schema, and we can now append our data. And to append the data, I want to take you through the procedure of appending the data. The first procedure is that we have the tools that are provided to append data to our schema. The first tool is what we call append, which you can access by clicking on analysis and then click on tools to open the tools. You don't need to worry where the tool is located in the toolbox. You just type append under the search option to search for the tool. So you can see the tool that you want is called append, and it is actually found under data management toolbox or data management tools. So when you click on it, it will open the append tool. And what do you want to append? The country data. So if you have data that you want to prepare for update, if you want to update the WDPA for your country, then you can add it here. So the target dataset is the schema. Target dataset is the schema. You can start with the poly, so you can select the poly. And then the input dataset is the country data that you want to update. So in this case, I had shared the data for Aberdare rainforests. That is the data that you're going to use for this particular session. And just to take you back, because you had issues with this layer, if you want to access this particular data, you can, let me just switch back to the e-learning platform. Let me go to the e-learning platform. So when you go to the e-learning platform and module 2, when you go to the module 2 of the e-learning platform, under the data schema, under the data processing, you are able to see the forest, the Aberdare Forest Ranges data. So when you click on this data here, it will download. And you can see it has downloaded in my computer already. When you click on the folder icon here to open, it opens where it was saved. So if I want to use this data for update, for ArcGIS Pro update, first you need to unzip it. So you right click on it and you click on extract to Aberdare Forest data. So once you open it, once you unzip it, it will appear as a folder. It will appear in a folder. So let me just scroll and search for the folder. You can see I have my Aberdare Forest data here. So when you open it, it has the shapefile files that you can use. So once it has unzipped, that is when you can be able to use it. Otherwise, before you unzip it, you will not be able to see it in ArcGIS Pro. So if you have any other issue of accessing that layer, that particular layer, please just go to the e-learning platform, to module 2, session 3, you'll find it. So let me switch back to ArcGIS Pro. In ArcGIS Pro, you can be able to add this data here. So you can either first add it in your contents, so that it's part of your map, or you can still pull it in the append tool, because the append tool allows you to browse for data. So for my case, because I have not added it here, I will just browse and then go and select the layer. So you click first on that arrow found beside the input datasets, and then you can see it's giving me an error about object reference not set. Just click on OK. It's a setting that I will change. So once you're there, you can come and look for the data. As I told you, for me, it is in downloads. So I'll just go and find it. It's called Aberdare. I can sort according to date so that it comes first under the folders. So my folder is here. My folder is, where is it? My folder is called Aberdare. So just in case you come here and you don't find it, you can click on this refresh button here, because sometimes it takes time to reflect. You click on refresh button, and then you'll see that folder. So once you click on refresh button, it will refresh and go to and show you the data that we have just added here. So you can see my Aberdare Forest data is now visible. So you can double click on the folder to show the contents, and in this case it's the Aberdare Rainforest. Then I can just pick the shapefile and click on OK. So remember, you can add as many layers as you want. You can append as many layers as you want. If you have 10 or 20 protected areas which appear as individual shapefiles, you can add all of them under the input datasets. Once you do that, we are not adding any expression. Just go down to field matching type. Under the field matching type, we have 3 options. The first one is that the input fields must match target fields. Only use this option when your schema has the same fields as the input dataset that you want to append. Otherwise, if your schema has different fields and your data has different fields, it will not accept, including even the data types of the fields. So if maybe you have similar fields, but of different data types, still this option will not work. The second option is that use the map to reconcile field differences. Now, this is the best option because when you are appending your data, it gives you an opportunity to match the fields of the schema to the fields of the input data. So, for example, in our case, you saw the names of the forests are contained in a field called forests. But the names in the schema fall under the field called the name. So this option allows us to match the fields of the schema to the fields of the data we are appending. The third option is a skip and one if schema does not match. So what it means that it will just give us a warning if the schema does not match, but it will still go ahead and create and append, but it will not match the fields. So if the fields don't match, it will not. It will just proceed. So you'll have to redo the work again when you are processing the appended data. So in our case, we shall use the field map to reconcile field differences. And then once you select that option, let me just expand this tool. You can see beside, on the left, we have the fields that are in the schema. You can see the field map here. And then you can see, you can add fields if you want, or you can edit fields. So in our case, what we're going to do is that we want to match the name field with the forest field in our input data. So what I'll do is that I'll click on edit, then you just go and pick the forest field and click on OK. So what I've done is that I have come to the name, and then I've clicked on the pencil icon. Once you click on the pencil icon, it allows you to go in and choose the field that matches with this particular field. And in this case, let me just remove this. In this case, the field that matches is called forest. So when you pick forest, it will just capture automatically. And then if there is any other field that matches, then you can still go and pick it. For example, there's a field on boundary, we don't need it. There's a field called hectares, we need area in kilometers, which we can still refer to this, or we can still add it, but we will have to modify it a bit. So perimeter, we don't need it. We don't need not gazetted field. So once you do that, just click on OK to match the name and the forest. And then I think there is no other field that matches. There is no other field that matches. So what we'll do, I'll just go and click on Run. Click on Run. And once you click on Run, it will run, and you can see it has finished. It will give you append completed notification. You can now close the tool. And now when you go to your schema, the polygon schema, you can see there are polygons within it. If you can just go and right click on it and then click on attribute table. It will show you some data inside with the names. So under the names, these are the names that we added from the field called forests. It is the same procedure is similar to what we did before. We did before in ArcGIS Online. I taught you how to calculate fields using either the arcade or the SQL options. The same can be done here. For example, for the WDPA ID and the WDPA PID, these values are given by UNEP WCMC. So the data provider don't provide this kind of information. But for the PA definition, protected area definition, you have to provide this data. So when you are reporting your data, you have to specify whether the data you are providing are protected areas or the data you are providing are OECMs. So if you provide the OECMs, the accepted value is 0. But for the protected areas, if you're providing protected areas, the accepted value is 1. So for me, I know that all these forest reserves are protected areas. So we can go and calculate this. We can come and calculate this PA definition and have the ones added. But there's a question that was asked by one of the participants on what happens if you're adding data data of different values. For example, part of the data that you're providing is OECMs. Other sites are protected areas. So what do? You can do it manually. You can just come against each of the protected areas. For example, Kikuyu escarpment, maybe the first one is a protected area. You can double click there and put a 1. And the second one is an OECM. You can double click there and type a 0. You can do it manually and one by one. However, if you have many, assuming that you have 1,000 or even 2,000 protected areas, how do you go about it? You can be able to filter. So if you have any other field that can be used to filter, you can filter and just enter the values for all of them. Or you can select manually. For example, assuming that only this south, like Kipia, this option here, this Kikuyu escarpment, this option here, maybe Magumo South, this option here, Nyamweru here, are OECMs. You can just come and select the way I have selected here, and then you can come and also calculate. So once you have selected, you can just come to PA definition, right click on it, and then click on calculate field. You click on calculate field. So once you click on the calculate field, it gives you this window that you can use to calculate. You can call it a window or a dialog. For the input table, you are using the data that you added, so it's the schema. And then it is just below the input layer that you have. You can see there's this option called use the selected records, and then it's showing you 4. So this means that as long as this option is active, whatever we are calculating will only be calculated on the 4 selected records. So if you are entering a value, the value will only be assigned to the 4 selected records. However, if you uncheck this option here, then it will apply to all the features, regardless of whether you have selected some or not. So what we will do is that we will leave this option selected, and then the field name is what we have just right-clicked on, is PA definition, but you can change the field if you want. And then you can change the language of calculation. So for example, you can use a Python, you can use ArcGIS. I know you know what is ArcGIS by now. You can use SQL, or you can use Virtual Basic Script. For our case, you can use any of them. It will work. You can use Python. Last time you used ArcGIS and the SQL. This time around, you can use Python. You can click on Python. And then, under the calculations down here, sometimes you can calculate a field based on another field, or you can just come and calculate values for that field. In our case, we want to just enter a value, so you will type a 0. And in most of these languages, when you are working with numeric data, it allows you to to just enter the value the way it is. It doesn't have restrictions of whether you need to put them in quotation marks or double quotation marks. So you type 0 there and just click on apply. And you can note now that for every selected records, they have a 0 assigned to them. There is a 0 assigned to them. You can click on OK to close. So how about the rest of if the rest of the sites are protected areas? What you do down here where you have the selection, you can switch selection. You can, sorry, not down here, up here under switch. Under switch, you can switch selection so that you work on the unselected features. So what it will do is that it will unselect what we have selected and select what we have not selected. So if you click on switch here, it switches the selection and you can see what we initially calculated are now not selected. So if those ones are the protected areas, what do? You come back to calculate field, right click on the field header, and then click on calculate field. And then this time round we are calculating the PA definition, but we are putting value 1. You put value 1, then you just click on apply, and then you click on OK. And what will you see? You will see the records have been assigned 1s and 0s. And in this case, the 1s refer to OECMs. Sorry, the 1s refers to protected areas and the 0 refers to OECMs. So you can click on clear to clear the selection. And then you can proceed to the original name. So for the original name, you can right click on the name. And you shall be calculating the original name based on the name field. So you can click on it and just click on the calculate field. And then you can use the same Python to calculate. But here in the expression window here, you can just come and type on, double click on the name. So what it means that the values that are in the name field will be copied to the original name. So once you click on that, just click on apply, then OK. For the designations, I know that I had shown you this before, but still now this time round, you can only apply a calculation on a particular set of data. For example, let us assume that all the OECMs that are in our data are community forests, and the protected areas are forest reserves. So what can you do? What you can do is that you can select by attributes. You can select by attributes the OECMs, then you will put a common value for all the OECMs. And how do you go about it? You can come to and click on select by attributes here. And then you can, for the input rows, you can retain the poly schema. For the selection type, it's a new selection, leave it the way it is. Then under the expression here, down here, where the where is, you come and click on the arrow beside it and select PA definition. So in this case, you're going to only select those sites that are OECMs. So PA definition is equal to, then you can pick 0. So what will it do? It will just select the OECMs only, then click on apply, then OK, and only the OECMs are selected. So you can select data or features based on a field, and then come and calculate values for those particular features only. So for the designation, you can right click here and click on calculate field. So let us assume that these OECMs are community forests. So when you are entering textual data or what we call the string data, you need to put it in quotation marks. So in the expression window, start with the quotation marks, and then just type community forests, and close the quotation mark. So once you put the quotation marks there, the software knows that whatever you have entered is a string, and therefore it will be entered as a text. So you click on apply, then OK, and then you can see community forests have been added on OECMs, on the sites that are OECMs. You can still be able to switch selection within the select by attributes window. So for example, if you click on select by attributes again, you can see the expression is there. But you can click on invite where clause. When you click on invite where clause, it will now select those features that are not selected. So if you click on apply, it switches the selection. Click on apply, then OK. You can see it has switched the selection and selected what you did not select. You can now go ahead and process this data. So you can calculate the values and call them forest reserves. Right, click on designation, click on the calculate field, and this time round we change the value community forest to forest reserve. Forest reserve. And maybe one of the advantages of doing batch processing is that when you do batch processing, what happens is that you will be consistent in your values. For example, if you are to enter a value for each record, then you may sometimes confuse, put space where it's not supposed to be, or add, maybe use a small letter instead of the capital letter. And by doing so, you are adding inconsistency to your data. But when you do batch processing of the data, what it does is that it will retain consistency for all the records. So for the designation English, this is you can proceed. Copy all the values in the designation to designation English. For the designation type, as I told you previously, there is a manual that I shared with you, which you can also access through the data that you downloaded from Protected Planet. When you go to that particular folder you downloaded, you can get a manual. It guides you on the values that goes to each field. For example, under designation type, it allows values like national. So you have to specify whether the site you're adding is a national site or is an international site. For IUCN category, it allows values like 1A, 1B, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it shows you, the manual will show you what each value means. For example, 1A refers to strict nature reserves. 1B refers to wilderness areas. 2 refers to national parks, etc. You can also refer to the documentation, the PowerPoints, or the presentations within the e-learning platform for more information. But what I want to show you now is on the calculation of the area. So how do you go about calculating the area? What you need to do is that we have the reported area. The reported area is the value that the data provider provides, or the gazetted area for those particular protected areas. So what happens is that you just enter the values as provided by the data provider. However, the GIS area is calculated by our team, either here at RCMRD or by colleagues at the UNEP World Conservation and Monitoring Center. So what we do is that we have a whole methodology of calculating the GIS area, which I'll show you. But this area is only calculated per site. So it is area for each particular site, and it cannot be used to calculate area for the whole country. Because remember, WDP allows overlapping of sites. You can have a national site overlapping with an international site, or have sites of different designations overlapping. These sites are allowed within WDPA. For example, you can have a national park overlapping with the forest reserve. It is allowed within the database. But when you are doing now calculating the area for the country, there is a methodology, a spatial methodology that avoids double calculation or double counting of the areas within the database. So this area is only for the site level, but not for the national level. And again, when you're doing it for the regional level, even it's a bit different, because the data that is provided by the data providers sometimes is of less accuracy and can overlap their boundaries. They can go beyond the boundaries of the countries. So when national area is calculated, normally there's a field called ISO3 that is used for that purpose. But when regional statistics are being calculated, the data that is used is the spatial geometry is used for that purpose. So allow me to calculate the GIS area. You right click on GIS area. Then you click on calculate field. Once you click on the calculate field, the field name is GIS area. The expression, you can choose whatever you want. And then, sorry, we are using the wrong option. Close that. Just go and right click on GIS area. Click on calculate geometry. So the input feature is the WDOECM polyschema, and then it is asking whether we only want to use the 16 records. Say no and check that option so that we calculate everything. No? And then for the geometry type, the field that we want to focus on is the GIS area. The property here, change it to area geodesic. What geodesic means that it uses the 3D, the curvature of the earth to calculate the area, as opposed to planimetric, where the earth is flattened. And it is more accurate than the planimetric area. And then you can come and specify the units of measurement. In this case, the area in WDP is calculated in square kilometers, so choose square kilometers. And the very important is the coordinate system. So our WDP uses, they changed from what we call Molwade coordinate system to now what we call WGS 1984 geodesic coordinate system. So we shall be choosing that for this particular class. So click on you can click on this icon here. It is a globe icon called select coordinate system. Click on it. Then when you are calculating the area, you use projected coordinate system as opposed to geographic coordinate system. So go to projected coordinate system, and we are using world. So we are using world. So go to WDPA. Sorry, not WDPA. World WGS 1984 World Marketer. So we have this option here, and we have also the sphere-based. We have the sphere-based coordinate system that you can use. The sphere-based is more accurate, but the planimetric ones are more common and popular. So you can select the WGS 1984 World Marketer and click on OK. and then click on apply, then OK. So you can see we have values calculated under the GIS area. We have values calculated under the GIS area, and that is how we calculate numeric values. We calculate the properties of the geometry. With that, I want to show you now how you can upload these in your ArcGIS online account. I know it was an issue for most of you. You encountered errors in trying to upload it to ArcGIS Online. So to upload this data to the ArcGIS Online, what you do, you come to the share, tab up there, and then you have an option under Share As. There is an option called Web Layer. So what you're going to do is that you're going to publish this as a web layer. So click on Publish Web Layer. Publish web layer. So give it a few seconds. You can see it has opened. So what are we publishing? What we are publishing is the WDPA. We can publish one layer at a time. First, you need us to remove this topographic base map. Remove it. Remove it. So we can publish one layer at a time. You want us to remove this point feature schema so that you just remain with this particular feature layer. So the name we can call it. This is Aberdare. It's Aberdare range. Aberdare Forest Reserves. Aberdare Forest Reserves. And for the summary, we can call it these are forest reserves. Reserves in Aberdare. In Aberdare. In or around Aberdare Range Mountain. For the tags, as I told you, these are phrases that you can use to search for your data. So you can type forest reserve as the first tag. You separate with the commas. The second tag you can type maybe protected areas. Protected area. The third tag may be Aberdare range. Range. Then you separate them with the commas. Categories, you can choose in which category do you want this to fall in. You can so assign categories. For now, we don't have them, but normally you can assign your data in categories like maybe if it's climatic data, you categorize in climatic data. You can have biota or you can have environment data. But for us, this is not a required field. You can skip it. The layer type, this is a feature layer. So we are publishing this as a feature layer. So make sure that the feature is selected. And then for the folder, you can go and select the folder for where this data will be published. You can select the folder where this data will be published. Or you can even create a new folder. And then lastly, you need to select where you want this to be the sharing levels. If you want to share with yourself or you want it to be shared with the organization or everyone. So if you choose this here, organization, the data will be published when it has been shared with the organization. So let me see what I'm doing wrong. Or what we can do, we can share. I'll share with myself first, then I'll change the sharing option. So there's something that is not. Okay, in just a minute. So let me create a folder and see whether it will accept. Application of GIS. In conservation. So perhaps I can do the same thing that I was trying to do because it has refused to work. I go to share again, click on share, and then we are sharing a web layer. You're publishing a web layer, you just click on our web layer there, and then we change the name. Change the name to Aberdare. Change the name to Aberdare. For summary, we can call it Forest House. Forest House in Kenya. Then for tags, you can even select tags from a list. You can call it Forest House again. This house. Forest reserves, protected areas, etc. Protected areas. For the categories, you don't need to change anything. Then sharing levels folder, you have to select maybe the root folder. Let me check. The root folder, and again, it's not showing. So I want to show you how to publish your data. I know some of you had this problem before. You tried to do the schema in ArcGIS Pro, and also did the update in ArcGIS Pro, and I wanted to upload the data to ArcGIS Online. And as I told you, it is not necessary for you to upload your data to ArcGIS Online. The only reason we taught you how to do both is that sometimes you may not have access to ArcGIS Pro, so you may be forced to do your schema in ArcGIS. online. If that time comes, you should be able to proceed with your work. Otherwise, there is no need for doing both online and through ArcGIS Pro. However, for the assignment, for you to be able to complete the assignment that was given, then you must publish your data to ArcGIS online. And to do that, I want to just take you through the procedure. You first click on the share tab. So once you click on share, you can now go and click on web layer. So you want to publish our data as a web layer. But before you do so, remember we have a number of layers in our contents. So first, we will remove the WDPA, WDOECM point schema. Just right click and remove. And then remove the base map. Remove the base map. And we remain with the WDPA, WDOECM poly schema. And this is the schema we want to publish. So for you to be able to publish, you go to the web layer under the share as ribbon and just click on publish web layer. So once you click on publish web layer, you can come and enter the name for the feature layer that you want to publish. We can call it Aberdare. Aberdare underscore forests underscore reserves. For the summary, you can call it these are forest reserves. These are forest reserves in Kenya. Tags, as I told you, these are phrases that you can use to search for this particular layer. You can call it, you can type Aberdare, then separate each tag with the comma. So we put a comma, we type the next one, maybe Aberdare Forest Reserve, Aberdare Forests Reserve, put a comma, and then you can call, type protected area, areas, forest reserves. So what the tags will do is that when someone comes to search for this layer using any of the phrases you have typed there, the layer will appear. So under categories, you can come and choose the categories for this layer. At the moment, there's no category. We will skip that. We want to publish this as a feature layer. That is okay. And the folder, you can choose in which folder do you want this data to go to. So you can either create a new folder or select an existing folder. So if you want it to go to the root folder, you can still select just the root folder, and your layer will just be placed in your folder. For the sharing levels, you can switch between owner, organization, public, and group. So for example, if you want to only share the data with the organization, you just select organization. If you want to make your data public, you just click on everyone or public, then it will be shared with everyone. For this case, maybe for me, I'll choose organization first. Then for the groups, if you just want to share your data with a given group, you can just come and check these. Otherwise, if you don't want to share with them, you just unselect and it's okay. And then first, when you click on Analyze, what it will do is that it will try to check whether there are issues with these data that you want to publish, so that you resolve them before you start publishing. So when you click on Analyze, it will run and give you places that you need to rectify before you publish. So I have just clicked on Analyze. Let me click on it again so that it analyzes. So once you finish everything, you click on Analyze. Analyze will give you issues that are in your feature layer. So the X here means that these are issues that will not allow you to proceed. And then the yellow exclamation mark shows issues that are within your map, but still you'll be allowed to proceed. So once that is done, you can now go ahead and click on publish. And you can see it's telling us a web layer named Aberdare Rainforest already exists. So what are we going to do? I want us to go back to the general tab and just change our name to Aberdare Rainforest underscore reserves. And then go back and click on publish. And once you click on publish, it will start analyzing again to just establish whether you have issues with your layer or in your map. Then it will proceed to publish the layer. So let us see, because it will publish it, we will go and check whether our data has been published the way we want. Sometimes it will take a while, depending on the internet that we have. It can take a few minutes to just create a service layer and upload it to your ArcGIS Online account. So just be patient. It is uploading the service layer. It will show. When it finishes, it will show there a notification, and you can see it has already finished, and it is saying web layer published successfully on 3rd of September 2025 at 3:16 p.m. So you can click on manage the web layer to go and see where the layer has been published. You see, we are here, and I think in our previous class we had already gone through this interface. So I will not go through the interface again, but just come and check. You can see the name of the layer is Aberdare Rainforest Reserves, and then you have a small description here. These are, sorry, I needed to write in plural. So these are forest reserves in Kenya. So this means that you can even be able to edit the description even within the ArcGIS Online platform. And you can also go to the data tab and check the data that you have there. You just go there and you can see everything that we added has been displayed here. So you can see have the Kikuyu escarpment, the names of the forest reserves are here. The names of the forest reserves are here. And when you are here, you can now proceed with the processing as we discussed. And after you have finished processing, you go and share your link with us as an assignment. First, before we go, there's one more thing that I want to mention, which is also one of the issues that you have been facing. Here, in the description of this layer, you can see, not the real description, in the overview of the layer, this layer that you are working on is a feature layer. It is a hosted feature layer. So when you open any other item that is not a feature layer, you will not be able to see this option of data and visualization. You can only see data and visualization for feature layers. but you can't be able to see data and visualization for web maps. For example, let me just switch back to my content. Let me switch back to my content and pick a web map. There's a web map here called PC in ESA. So I'll click on it to open it. And you can see I only have overview, usage, and settings. I don't have data and visualization here. So because what I have opened is a web map. Now make sure that if you want to work with your schema, you are working on a feature layer. So let me just switch back. So in your contents, you have the titles of the content, and then you have the type of the content that you have. So for example, you can see Aberdare is here as a feature layer. I have Aberdare Rainforest here as a service definition layer. I have a feature layer again for the key biodiversity areas in Africa. I have a shapefile. So make sure that the layer that you want to edit is a feature layer. Otherwise, you will not be able to see options that you need to use. For example, when I click on a feature layer here, on Aberdare Rainforest Reserve, that is a feature layer, you can be able to see the data tab and the visualization tab. Otherwise, if you choose a web map, you will not be able to see that. So I hope I have resolved most of the issues that you had around the schema and data processing. So with that mentioned, I want us to stop there. If you have any other questions, please go to the community and your issues will be resolved there. Thank you.